Here is a presentation from our group about the crisis management for in-flight management. We have several highlights. The first one is we are going to explaining and giving information about what is crisis management during an in-flight. The second one is the type of crisis management or emergencies. The third one is strategies for crisis preparation. The fourth one is communication during a crisis. The fifth one is the technology role in crisis management. And the last one is recovery and post-crisis evaluation.
Now, I will explain what is in-flight crisis management. This refers to the process by which flight attendants and pilots respond quickly to unexpected emergencies to minimize their impact on the aircraft and passengers. There are several stages as seen in the figure on the right. Prepare, respond, recover, evaluate, learn, and prevent. By working in this way, we can respond to future crises and make improvements. This process is also important to maintain the company's confidence.
Now we're gonna talk about the crisis management or emergencies in flight. The first one is mechanical failures, that is involve any malfunction in the aircraft's equipment, and this can range from engine failures to issues with landing gear, control systems, or navigation equipment. The second one is medical emergencies. This occur when passengers or crew members experience serious health issues during a flight, like heart attacks, strokes, allergic reaction, and other serious illness. The third is security threats. This pose a significant risk to safety of the flight, passengers, and also crew, like terrorism and hijacking. These are the most serious threats involving individuals or groups attempting to take control of the plane. The fourth is weather-related emergencies that can change rapidly during a flight, sometimes resulting in dangerous situations like turbulence or lightning or storm conditions. And the last, unruly passengers. These individuals on board who cause disturbances that may threaten the safety of the flight, like physical and also verbal threats. For the case study that the most common issue happen in the flight is mechanical failures. For example, the first one is AirAsia and the second one American Airlines. So the AirAsia flight from Indonesia to Singapore crashed into Java Sea due to malfunction in the aircraft's rudder. So the crisis management response involved large-scale search and rescue operations and support the families, and also the investigation and address mechanical safety issues for future flight. For the American Airlines, that is the deadliest aviation accident in US history. The crisis management is to investigate it, led to revised maintenance procedures for engine pylon structures to prevent similar issues to the future.
Now, I will explain strategies for crisis preparation. Although, of course, every airline does not want to be hit by a crisis during a flight, a strategist still need to be prepared if a crisis does occur. There are 8 strategies points for dealing with crisis that I found. The first is planning and training, where all the staff are trained so that when a crisis occurs, staff can know what they have to do. The second is risk assessment and mitigation planning to strengthen security. And the third is aircraft accident, namely the step that must be taken if a major crisis occurs. Fourth, emergency procedures for emergencies, and then provision of crisis management team and center, other matters, simulation and roles during a crisis, and finally a legal aspects if the crisis that occurs involves the law. There is a study case that I found on United Airlines where one of the passenger was forced to get off by security personnel and caused injuries to the passenger. And here's the video.
Disturbing video showing a passenger being dragged off a plane. 69-year-old Dr. David Dow is now world famous as the passenger yanked off the overbooked United flight. He's a lung specialist from Kentucky. The United CEO, Oscar Munoz, had first described Dow as disruptive and belligerent, but he changed his tune on Good Morning America and issued a full-fledged apology.
Do you think he's at fault in any way?
No, he can't be. He was a paying passenger sitting on our seat in our aircraft.
And new video has emerged of Dr. Dow in the moments before the altercation. He's apparently on the phone with the airline pleading his case.
I'm physician, have to work tomorrow 8 o'clock.
Then he makes it clear he's not giving up his seat.
No, I'm not going. I am not going.
One of the officers tells him they'll use force if needed.
They try to use the force. I make a lawsuit against United Airlines.
Then an officer threatens him with jail.
I'd rather go to jail than just get it off.
I'm not go on that statement right there.
That's when all hell broke loose.
In the end, United Airlines carried out 4 crisis management strategies, namely apology and acceptance of responsibility, internal investigation and policy review, enhanced customer service training, and engaging with stakeholders. And in my opinion, United Airlines is a crisis management team and legal aspects in this crisis.
Communication during crisis. In the event of an in-flight crisis, cabin crew rely on structured communication protocols to maintain safety and efficiency. First, they must quickly alert the flight crew about any danger signs like smoke or fire through the interphone system. If the pilot in command or PIC becomes incapacitated, cabin crew are trained to initiate evacuation, but only after ensuring the plane is stationary with engine shut down. Clear communication is key during such moments. Cabin crew must give instruction to passenger and fellow crew members in simple, repeatable terms to avoid any confusion. Signals and cue also play a crucial role during emergencies. Designated verbal commands combined with non-verbal gesture help convey urgent information quickly. Crew members are prepared for this through constant training, ensuring they know their responsibilities and how to communicate under pressure. And furthermore, briefings for passenger about safety measurements and equipment are vital to increasing their chances of survival, and cabin crew must ensure passengers understand this instruction. 2 significant case studies highlight the importance of effective in-flight communication. The first one, in 2017, AirAsia faced an engine failure mid-flight causing intense vibration. Despite the chaos, the crew maintained calm, frequently updating passengers and prioritizing their safety by returning the plane back to Perth. Their communication ensured trust and order throughout the crisis. Similarly, during the 9/11 tragedy, or the second case, American Airlines flight attendants Betty Ong and Amy Sweeney displayed extraordinary professionalism. Ong was calmly relayed critical information about the hijackers, while Sweeney provided precise details about their actions, directly influencing the decision to ground all U.S. flights. Their bravery and clear reporting became vital in managing the unfolding crisis. Both cases underline the need for timely and transparent communication, which is essential for safeguarding lives during the in-flight emergencies.
Technology role in crisis management. The first one is emerging technologies. AI can predict potential crisis by analyzing weather pattern, traffic data, and maintaining records, allowing airlines to proactively address issues before they escalate. Here I have the concept of digital twin, which is a virtual model of physical aircraft that can be used to simulate crisis scenario and optimizing responses in real time. The second one is real-time monitoring, predictive analytic. Real-time monitoring system track the condition of aircraft and flight condition, enabling quick responses to anomalies. Predictive analytic help airlines anticipate potential disruption and reroute flight or adjust schedule accordingly, minimizing the impact of crisis on operation. Here I have 2 case study, which is the first one is AirAsia Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappearance. So from the article that I attached here, it mentions about the plane transponder, which are used to give information to ATC or air traffic control about the airplane's location and in space, and most cases its altitude as well. This instrument can identify an airplane uniquely and serve the main purpose of helping ATC keeps airlines separated, all in the service of safety in the air travel. The second technology that is used is a black box. A black box is a flight data recorder that must be in every air vehicle. All flight information is recorded into a black box with a specific algorithm. This makes the recorded flight data accessible to authorities when needed. Contrary to the popular belief, the black box is mostly bright orange, not black. The second case study is American Airlines Circle Back for Emergency Landing. In the article that is written about a digital flight data recorder, which is a system designed to collect and record data from a variety of sensors. The sensors are mounted throughout the aircraft structure, picking up data from appliances component and codependent system that tell their story of how they were configured and being used during the time before and at the time of an accident. All of this data is collected and stored digitally within a reflective fluorescent yellow or orange crash-proof container.
Recovery and post-crisis evaluation at AirAsia Airlines. The recovery and post-crisis evaluation of AirAsia, particularly following its various crises, such as the airline flight QZ8501 disaster and the COVID-19 pandemics, demonstrate how the airline dealt with significant challenges through strategic decision, operational adjustment, and reflection. The first point, immediate response and crisis management. In flight QZ-8501 disaster 2014. AirAsia experienced a strategic loss when flight QZ-8501 crashed, killing all 162 passengers and crew on board. The airline's initial response was to cooperate with authorities, facilitate research and rescue efforts. The second point is COVID pandemic in 2020. Like many airlines, AirAsia faced a several downturn due to global travel restriction. Its response including grounding most of its fleets, implementing cost-cutting measures, and focusing on the health and safety of passengers. And then recovery strategy, operational adjustment. In both instances, AirAsia retraction is operation. After the QZ-8501 crash, the airline worked on improving its safety measures, revising protocols, and enhanced training for the crew. And then financial recovery. AirAsia implemented various financial recovery measures after both crises. During the pandemic, the airline securities loan, engaged in fundraising efforts, and negotiated debt retraction to ensure business survival. And the last, post-crisis evaluation, reputation management. The airline crisis management, particularly Tony Fernandez's hands-on approach during the QZ-8501 incident, was seen as textbook example of how to handle a corporate crisis. AirAsia transparency, empathy, and timely communication help to contain reputation damage and recover public trust. The next slide is recovery and post-crisis evaluation from American Airlines. The recovery and post-crisis evaluation of American Airlines, particularly after the crisis it has faced, such as the event of 11 September 2001, financial challenges including bankruptcy, and the COVID-19 pandemic, provides insight into how the airline has adapted, retraction, and evaluated its strategy to regain stability and continue growth. The first one, immediate response and crisis management. The Kasus terrorist attack in 2001. American Airlines was directly affected by the Kasus attack. The 4 planes including were from the fleet. The airline faced immediate operational disruption, safety concern, and a significant reputation challenge. The second point is COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Like other airlines, American Airlines faced massive disruption during the pandemic. The airline reduced capacity, target a significant portion of its fleet, and implement cost-saving measures. Post-crisis evaluation, safety and security improvement. After the incident, American Airlines, like all airlines, enhanced its security protocol, working closely with the newly created Transportation Security Administration, or TSA.
On this slide, showing the references utilized in the preparation of the presentation materials. And on this slide, it contains the names and ID numbers of the team members involved in the development of this presentation. That's all from our group. Thank you for your attention.